are we? Okay, so I thought I would give you a little bit of story time. So, welcome to Cushion Chamomile. Um, so my story time. Well, I guess my story time is going to involve my dog barking. So my story time is going to be a little shorter. It's pretty much going to be about a time where I was followed. Well, I've been followed a few times. This story is going to be shorter than the other story, so I'll have to tell you the second follow story next time, part two. So this follow story, I was a little younger. I was working at Outback Steakhouse, and it wasn't even really late, but it was around 4 or 5, 6. It was still light outside. I was catching a bus, so I was walking to my bus stop, and as I was walking, I noticed this gentleman in front of me, and I noticed that the guy, he kept stopping and looking back, and when I finally noticed he was stopping and looking back, I was like, what is he looking at? So I turned around and looked behind me. There was nobody behind me, but you know, us girls, we check behind us ourselves anyway when we're walking somewhere. I mean, it's only logic. So I look behind me, I keep checking behind me, I don't see anybody. So I pretend to stop. I stop at this one bus stop, which wasn't my bus stop. I stop at the bus stop. He stops at the bus stop ahead of me. So I stand there for a minute, wait to see if he's going to stay at his stop or if he's going to walk away. I knew that there was a bus coming around the corner for that particular stop soon, but I knew it wasn't my bus, so I wish I would have just waited and caught it or whatever, but I stood there for a second. I'm like, okay, maybe he'll stand at his stop. So after I stand there for about a minute or two, I start to walk again. Then he looks back and he starts to walk. Mind you, he's in front of me. As he starts to walk, I'm like, okay, this is getting weird. So I stop again, pretend like I'm tying my shoe, everything else, and I notice that he keeps looking back at me. So I see this young lady, and she's sitting at the bus stop, and I ask her, and I'm like, are you waiting for this specific bus? And she said, yeah. I was like, well, you can catch it up there also. I was like, I know you don't know me. I was like, but I'm trying to get to my bus stop, and I can't, this guy in front of me, he's following me from the front, and I was like, and I don't know if he is sticking around to wait for you, or if it's just me. I was like, I'm not sure. I was like, we're both two females, we're both out here, so I feel like it would be safer if we both walk together, and we both stand there, and when we see the police or whatever, we can let them know. So she was actually nice. She was like, sure, yeah, no problem. So I acted like I was her friend or whatever, and we started walking together, and as we was walking, I asked her name, and I told her mine, and I was like, I actually work down the street, so I really appreciate this. I was like, it was just like really creepy. I was telling her how weird it was that he kept turning around and looking back and kept stopping every time I stopped. And when we finally get to the big bus stop that was like at the mall in front of us, I walk around to the other side, and I was like, well, thank you. I was like, you up here with other people? I was like, so you're safe? I was like, what I'm going to do, I'm going to walk around to the other side and see if there's any police over here, because it used to always be like police around on this little side part, but for once it wasn't any police there. And I was like, fuck. I was like, I didn't walk myself into a spot that I don't need to walk myself into. There's like nobody over there at all. Nobody this time. Like no people, no police, very little cars. So I hurry up and I walk back around to the other side. But then I see a police officer who's a little further down. So I start walking towards him and I start fanning him down. And I told him what was going on and everything. And I noticed the guy was kind of walking towards me. But then when he saw me talking to the police, he turned around and walked the other way. And as he walked the other way, and I told the police and I pointed him out and everything, the police started like driving from around the back of the building where we were, or the side of the building that we were at, around to the part where all the bus stops were. And by this time, he was just completely crossing the street and going all the way back on the other side. Like, across the street, like nowhere near where we were. He was going all the way over there. And I'm like, so why was he over here at the bus stops? You know what I'm saying? Why was he there? Why was he because he kept following and kept, and went straight to the bus stops with us and everything else. Like, I was like, why? You know what I'm saying? And it took the police. I don't know if the police ever got him. I don't know if they said anything or did anything, but I just know that was like a really weird day. You know what I'm saying? And when you're tired and just get off of work or whatever, you don't want to deal with that. You don't want to deal with that when you're not tired and getting off work. So, but yeah. So ladies, just, if you're home, if you see a chick and she walk up to you and she's like, hey, can we just walk together on some innocent shit? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. And if that chick is ever out there and she sees this, I know this is like a very long time ago. My daughter was like 4 or 5. So I just want to say thank you, girl, like, for walking with me to the bus stop. That was like dope of you, and I wish you nothing but peace, love, and prosperity. So that's gonna be it for this story time, and I'm gonna have a story time again, and I will tell you about all the other little weird times I've had stalkers and things like that in my line of work. It's been a little interesting. So, all right. So, mad love to you. All right. Peace, babies. Mwah. Thanks for coming. Cushion Chamomile.